Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Lay on the ground now. Don't grab the gun. Put your hands out. Don't move. You understand me? Yes, don't move. Put your hands by.
Today's video takes us to Seattle, Washington. Now, most breakdowns, we usually define what is lawful and what is not. But we're here to dig a little deeper than that, to invoke thought and to create a conversation. I'm Sean Tyree. Welcome to Fast Life. Brief information on the situation. Officers were responding to a robbery in progress where upon their arrival, the suspect had already left the area, but they were able to get surveillance video of the suspect's vehicle. And they end up locating the vehicle at a different location around 12:30 a.m., which prompted the interaction.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Lay on the ground now. Don't grab the gun. Put your hands out. Don't move. You understand me? Yes, don't move. Put your hands by. Don't do it. Do not. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Look out.
Put
Look out.
your hand down. I'm trying to.
Put your hand out.
I'm trying to.
Don't move. Put your hand behind your back. Other one now. Under 10. Roll over. Heads up. You got it? Yeah. Stand up. We're getting out of the street.
So I want to show the video without giving an analysis. Want you to see it in its entirety. And now we can go back and actually see and review the video from an officer's lens. So you see they already
Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Lay on the ground now. Don't grab the gun. Put your hands out. Don't move. You understand me?
So see something like this where you see the officers, they already got the jump on the suspect there. You saw that he was automatically starting to reach, but he didn't pull it out. They already had the drop, guns drawn, perfect interaction, especially with the amount of surprise, right? And now you have 2 against 1. Now, obviously, when he's saying get down on your stomach, don't reach. At this point, you don't have to rush, right? Unless maybe you're worried about other suspects in the area that may be also in the convenience store, you're not sure. But where this comes a liability is the fact that now that you got the drop on the person and now you're trying to go hands-on, but as you go hands-on, you don't really have good control, right? Because you have a gun in one hand and then you only have the one that's free. You're never taught, never good in order to go and put handcuffs on somebody when you already have a lethal when you have anything in your opposite hand, right? If you have a taser or anything like that, you don't want that hand to be occupied. You want to have both hands free, especially if you're going to go and detain somebody so you can have good positive control. And as you can see, the other officer, his partner there, if you can see my cursor, to the left, he's obviously starting to approach, but he also has his weapon drawn. At this point, either you're going to make a decision where one of you are going to cuff and one's going to stay lethal, right? And that way, no one is really caught by surprise, right? And if you're going to go hands-on, right, you need to be aggressive about that type of action where someone, either it's going to be you calling them out or your partner here, hey, you go hands-on, I'm going to stay lethal. And now you're giving commands, or you stay back. Hey, we got the suspect down at gunpoint, we need a third. That's where that comes in handy. But if you're worried about time constraints, right, because you still want to make sure there are no other suspects in the store, this is where one person goes hand on, either forcibly coming in and straddling the guy towards his back so that way you can keep him down, coming around quickly in order to sweep his feet to keep him from gaining that leverage to standing up. But if you're slowly approaching and then you're going to go one hand and then other one hand, it's going to be apt for a situation where obviously where it led to.
Don't move. Put your hands behind.
So I do want to say, you got to give the officer still his kudos, especially the main officer, right as he got up. The awareness that he realized, hey, he can't shoot this person. I know you're like, well, you should shoot him, but necessarily reaching for the firearm. You can't use that lethal amount of force unless you are in threat of danger yourself. I know a lot of people say, hey, you hear that all the time, right? I was in fear of my life, fear of my safety. That kind of justifies a lot of officers getting off. That's up to the courts. And there is a level of fear when you know there's a gun in play that you have to worry about that, right? You have to worry about that reaction time of someone getting a jump on you. So that is true to a certain extent. Some cases, now I will say, all right, you can say iffy, but you can't really dictate what's in somebody's mind as far in terms of fear of safety. And that's where people get the benefit of the doubt. But back to the officer here, all right, the awareness of putting his gun or holstering his firearm, right? That takes a good amount of discipline and a good amount of thought, because now you're going hands-on. You don't want this weapon in play unless you're going to effectively use it. So good on him holstering it and then covering it to ensure that it doesn't get stolen and there's no fight for his firearm.
Don't do it. Do not. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Look out.
Put your hand down. I'm trying.
The camera isn't angled enough, but I want you to see where everybody's position is, or at least the main one. So when he tackled the guy, and if you can see it, even though the cursor is kind of in a way there, it won't pan up just because that's the camera angle. But he's straddling his waist, right? And that's a good, because when you straddle your waist, most people, if they're going to pull their firearm, they're going to pull it, and you can't see my hands here, but they're going to pull it from their waistband. And if that's covered, they can't get to it. And you'll see a video right here where an officer end up detaining somebody. This is where jiu-jitsu comes into place. And I'm biased towards it because I utilize it myself as far as being practicing in BJJ, but also practicing judo. So there's a level of skill that does come along with it, but that's where the departments have their purpose of training people if they have that program inside the agency, or incentivizing officers to train outside of work if they so see fit, which you would hope a lot of officers do, but that's never the case. All right. Time consumption, you'll be surprised the amount of people don't take this seriously when it really should, because it's not only going to save your life, but it's going to save your partner's life, and it's going to show respect to your family, because it lets them know that you are doing everything in your power to ensure that you make it home at night. So when you see this video, what I'm referring to,
I mean, do you have anything? What's that right there? You got something squishing there?
It's my phone.
Okay. All right.
Bro.
Okay.
I'm legit. Like.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Do you have anything illegal in your pockets? That's what I'm asking. Can I search your pockets?
No, sir.
Okay.
I don't, sir. I don't have it. Stop. Come on, man. Dog, give me a break, man. Come on, man. Get off, dude. No, stop, bro. God damn it. 416. God damn it. Hey, help me, dog.
So as you saw the video but he was able to position his arm or position his leg around the waist of the suspect. So this video that you saw, the prior video that you saw, is a little outdated in terms of year-wise and what's past. So as we finish this up.
Put your hand out. I'm trying.
Don't move. Put your hand behind your back.
Good control.
Other one now.
One to 10.
So once again, good control. And if you can see, he still remains straddling his waist. Most movement that is allowed is from the space that's given, allowing the hips in order to get free, right? If a person's going to stand up, they need to use their waist or their hips to be free. Even if you're pushing up, a push-up does nothing if your back half or if your waist is planted to the ground. The suspect is more likely just looking like a seal. All right, they're pushing themselves up. They're looking like a seal out of water right now. That's why it's so important to control the waist. All right, you control the hips, you're going to get most people down to the ground. And as long as you know what you're doing down there, you'll be able to effectively control or even wait. Give yourself time to wait for another officer to come. And at that point, you can slow it down as long as there's no one else that you have to worry about coming up behind you and attacking you from behind.
Roll over. Heads up. You got it? Okay. Stand up. We're getting out of the street.
So the situation started off perfectly. Getting the drop on the suspect, entering the store with your weapon drawn, effectively giving good commands, right, to get down on your stomach. And then the hiccup came where you're trying to go hands-on with both officers while still having a firearm in each hand. But still kudos to them for understanding the law that even though the suspect is getting up, he's not necessarily posing a lethal threat, even though that there's a lethal option in his pocket, but there's no quote unquote lethal threat because he did not present the firearm or display it or point it at anyone. So kudos to them for not firing at the person, because that would have been a whole nother situation where you can't necessarily say that you fear for your safety because the person was fleeing and not necessarily engaging. Kudos to the officer for still staying engaged, holstering his firearm. And then the biggest part is, as he was pursuing, immediately tackling the waist and keeping control of that waist to maintain a position of dominance, and then effectively getting this guy in handcuffs and off to jail he goes. And obviously you can see that the threat was real, right? As they rolled the suspect over, see the firearm, what they removed, had an extended magazine. It was real, one in the chamber. So, it clearly meant business. And he was also, quote unquote, the robbery suspect in their earlier investigation. With that being said, if law enforcement of old, law enforcement of new, or even the general public, if you learn anything from this video, drop a like and a comment below. And like always, Jesus is the light of the way.